Hello Seekers, welcome to episode 3 of the Book of Masteries playthrough. Last time we finished a tough battle with the skeletal horrors. We took a lot of damage, but we were able to overcome them. And we had a camp, successful camp, got everything healed up. At the end of the battle, we also recovered a magic item. So that's something that we're going to want to get identified soon because it can help us a lot. And I have 2 quick notes before we get into it today. One is the determination. I forgot to count determination and also explain how I'm going to use it. Now, determination in Carnage and Ether, you simply use it in the one arena match that you're fighting, and then it will reset and you can start over from 0 in the next match. But with Ker Nethalas, the way it's more of a continuous, flowing game. I needed to find some way to kind of maintain your determination points. So what I'll be doing is the determination points that are earned in the combat, which in the combat that we had with the skeletal horrors, we earned 4 determination points, and that's because we missed 4 times. So what I'm doing is half of the determination points will be retained, and you can carry those into the next combat. So I have written here that determination we have 2 points, and most skills on the determination skill list or ability list, you need to have usually around 5 or more determination points to activate anything. So anything under 5, we're not going to be able to activate anything anyway. So that, like that last fight, we wouldn't have been able to activate anything, but we do have our 2 points that we retained. And one other thing is enemies that have frightening and horrifying, I'm going to try a house rule and see how it goes. Those are checks that you need to make before every combat, and I notice that I forget quite often. So due to my forgetfulness, what I'm going to do is increase the sanity loss from 1 to 2 for frightening, but simply do the check 1 time at the beginning of combat after initiative, and then after you've done it once, then you don't do it anymore. So that's why I'm increasing the sanity loss from 1 to 2, and then if it's a horrifying enemy, you would lose 3 instead of 2. So I'm going to try that. If it seems like it's too hard, too easy, can change it around, but it's basically just to help me to not forget things, because I will tend to forget things when I get into combat, because my super tactical brain is thinking, how am I going to win this fight? And then I don't think about stuff like that. So that's my problem, but I'm trying to adjust that to make it a little bit less burden for me to remember, but also still try to keep it to be challenging and not too easy. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, let's jump into it today. And looking at the map here, we just finished room 3. And if we wanted to walk down the hallway here straight to room 4, we would need to check out a door. It looks like there is a door here, and that would be fine, but we could also simply backtrack and we could go into this small room and then come down into room 4. So I think that's what we're going to do. So we're going to backtrack into here. And for backtracking, you don't need to roll for an encounter or an event, but you do need to roll your tension die. So we are at D6 for the tension die. So we're going to roll our tension die there. And then we're also going to mark down 1 light source. And we got a 2. So we are now going to be down to the D4 for the tension die. So this is going to be our tension die right here. So we're back in room 2, and then we're going to move forward into this room here, which we'll just call this room A. And here we need to make a tension die check again, and we also need to reduce 1 light source. And that's a 4, so we'll be okay on the tension die. And I'm not seeing any locked door here, so we're going to proceed down this stairwell here and on into room 4. And this room, of course, is an unnumbered room, so there's not going to be any special text for that in the book. So when we get to room 4, we'll have special text there. So let's go ahead and make our tension die check into room 4 and also reduce our light source. And 3, so we're okay. And now we are in room 4, and we are going to have Oh, you know what? I forgot to check for an encounter in room A here. So let's check for an encounter or an event. That would be important to do before we get into room 4. So let me backtrack that. Okay, let's check for an encounter. And we have rolled a 14, so there is going to be an encounter here. And let's see what we're going to get there. I think we're going to need to do a D6 roll for that. No, we're going to do a D20 roll to see what we get. And that is an 18, which is a flesh eater. I don't know if I have fought a flesh eater before. I might have once, maybe, but I'm not sure if I have ever fought one of these guys. So we're going to be fighting a flesh eater. And how many are we going to be fighting? We're going to be fighting 1. So I've got a card here for them. And let's see what we got here for the flesh eater. So this is a humanoid undead. And on the cards, they do tell you what page number that you could look at. So it's page 138. So if we wanted to, we could actually go to page 138 and we could look at the flavor text. From the depths of the accursed catacombs, flesh eaters emerge as vile and grotesque abominations. These monstrous creatures possess a rotting, bloated form, its pallid skin stretched taut over protruding bones and oozing sores. With jagged teeth perpetually exposed in a wicked grin, they exhibit a putrid stench that betrays their unholy nature. Flesh eaters move with unsettling swiftness, able to traverse the darkest recesses with uncanny stealth, preying upon unsuspecting victims who dare venture into its domain. Their insidious claws tear through flesh and bone, savoring the agony of its quarry as it devours their essence, perpetuating their cursed existence. So that's lovely. All right. And yeah, so they're going to have 30 awareness. So that's going to come into play here when we do our initiative check. And their weak point is their head. They've got 25 combat skill and 10 magic resistance, but they're actually going to have 20 because the Mage Bane Overseer influence is in effect right now. And they do have frightening, so we need to make a check for frightening. So I'm going to write their health here. They've got 4 health and there is no armor. And this is going to be the flesh eater, and we just have one of those. Okay, so let's go for initiative here. And they've got 30 awareness. So in the future, I would like Slane to be more stealthy, but I think that we're going to have to probably level up more and increase our stealth that way, or through items. So in light of not having more stealth, we're going to go ahead and just use our standard perception here. And we do get plus 10 to that for quickness with the dagger. So we're going to have a 50 versus 30 here, opposed check. So let's roll for our initiative. And we have rolled a 55 and they've rolled a 57. So we both failed, but with our 55, that is going to be a fumble. So I think that's going to have some repercussions for us, and we are going to fail this. It means that we are unaware and we are going to lose our first turn. Okay, so they're going to attack first, and we're not going to have a turn, so they're going to get two attacks essentially. So for the flesh eater, we're going to roll d6. Oh yeah, we do need to make a frightening check though, so we'll make our frightening check right now, and that's going to be against our 20 resolve here. And that's a 48, so we did fail the check. We will take 2 points of sanity loss, which is more than the standard of 1, but we will not need to check for frightening anymore for the rest of the combat. So now we can check for their attack. And they have rolled a 6. This is going to be the slam. This is a physical attack, and the flesh eater raises itself on its hind limbs and then slams down with tremendous force onto a target, dealing D10 bludgeoning damage. So let's roll for their attack and see if they're going to hit us with the slam. And they have rolled a 5, and we have rolled a 35. So we will actually, I think we're actually going to win this. We have a defense of 40 with our acrobatics. We can use our acrobatics in place of our dodge. So we actually will win this check here. So luckily we're not going to take that D10 damage from the slam. But now the flesh eater will get another turn. And that's going to be a 4. And this is going to be the grasp, which is also a physical attack. The flesh eater lunges at a target, attempting to engulf it in its rotting embrace. The target must make an athletics opposed check. On a failure, they are grappled and restrained by the flesh eater, taking D8 bludgeoning damage at the start of their turns. The target can repeat the athletics check at the end of each of its turns, escaping the grapple on a success. All right, so we do have we have decent athletics. It's low, but at least it's not 10. So let's make an athletics check here and see if we get grappled. And I think it said an opposed check, right? Oh yeah, an opposed check. So they have an athletics of 45, so it is slightly better than ours. And they've rolled an 88, which is actually going to be a fumble for them, and we've rolled a 6, which would be a success. So I wonder if we can apply the athletics fumble to them. Let's see what we've got in here. That would be overexertion. They get a disadvantage on their next athletics check. Okay. So let's see if we can remember that. All right. So if I can remember that, we'll do a disadvantage on their next athletics check. And I'm not entirely sure if these rules are actually meant to be applied to creatures as well, but I think it's kind of fun as long as it doesn't break the game. So if there was something in there that was really crazy, I probably wouldn't apply it to a creature, but I think it can work in this case. And if you guys have not tried this drink, it's really, really good. It's ridiculously good. And I'm not sponsored in any way by this drink. Okay, so we succeeded on the athletics check, and we're not going to be grappled there by the flesh eater, and now we're finally going to get a turn. So we'll roll D6 for, oh no, sorry, not D6. We're going to roll for our combat skill, which is going to be 61 with the bladed weapons. And what was that skill that we got a 55? That was perception. So we do need to get marked that for improvement, even though it was a fumble. All right, and now they've got a 26 and we've got a 35. So it looks like we will beat them, even though we both succeeded. We have rolled higher. They have the combat skill of 25. Actually, so they are 1 over then. All right, now we'll roll D6 for damage, and we'll also roll for the hit location. And that's going to be nothing. And now we'll go over to the flesh eater. So the flesh eater will roll for their attack, and that's a 6. So once again, it's going to be the slam. So we'll make a physical check here. And we have rolled 42, and the flesh eater has rolled a 2. And our defense in this case is 40. So the flesh eater is going to be successful with their attack here. We went over our skill there, because once again we're defending with acrobatics. Okay, so the flesh eater is going to roll D10, I believe, for damage here. Yeah. And that's a 9. Ouch. That's going to be 3 points of damage, I believe. Yes, so we're going to take 3 points of damage. We'll go down to 13 here after taking 3 points of damage. And let's roll for our attack. And we've rolled a 20 and they've rolled a 77, so they actually got a fumble. So let's look at fumbles for them. We've got the creature fumbles right here. So we're going to roll D10 for their fumble. And that's a 10. So the creature falls in an awkward position, becoming prone and receiving 2d6 bludgeoning damage. And it must use its next turn to get back up. Very nice. So we'll roll 2d6. So that's going to be 1. That's going to be 3. So they will take 3 points of damage. It's going to put them down to 1 of 4. And then we also need to roll for our own attack. And that is a 3. So that's going to be 1 more point of damage. So we will vanquish our foe. Okay, so the Flesh Eater has been defeated. So a little bit of a crazy match there. Had a little bit of bad luck, and then all of a sudden things went quickly in our favor with that fumble there. So now we need to roll for D4 toughness recovery, and we're going to recover 4 points. So that'll just bring us back up to 16. And we're also going to get 50 points of experience. So we'll be up to 110. And I believe that was a Spoils deck roll for the Flesh Eater. Yeah, Spoils deck. So we'll roll a 1d6. And that's a 3. Which is going to be the mundane items. So we're going to draw a card from the mundane items. And that is a belt. Oh, wow. Very nice. This is one of the best items that you can loot. Really, really good item to have. We can now have 4 items in our quick slot. And the belt itself is also worth 1,000 coins. So if you did need money for some reason badly, you could always sell it. But you're probably not going to want to sell it because the belt is very nice to have. So up here we have our belt quick slots. I'm just going to put a little star next to it to indicate that we do have a belt. And I don't think there's anything that we can put in the belt right now that's going to help us, so we won't do that. But that's very nice to have. And I just realized I should be writing my rations and my cooking supplies and stuff over here. So there, we got all that stuff in our supplies. I'll erase those later. Okay, so that combat went pretty well. Not too bad. Getting the belt was very much worth it, for sure. Okay, so now we can make a scavenging check here before we leave this room. And, oh, wait, we do need to test our skill first, though. An 89. Okay, so we won't get to do any scavenging this time. Okay, and so now we can leave room A and go on into room 4. Let's roll for our attention die, and that is going to be a 2. So we are now going to have our first Growing Darkness event. And the tension die is going to go back up to a D8. And let's draw a Growing Darkness card. And it says that we are ambushed. We need to roll on the combat encounter table, and the opponent will surprise us. Ouch. All right. So in this case, we just roll our D20. And a 19, I believe, is going to be another Flesh Eater. So we'll bring the Flesh Eater back out. And once again, they're going to have 2 attacks because we are surprised. So number 2 is going to be the Rancid Claw. And this is going to be a physical attack. So let's roll for a physical attack here. And we got a 27 and they rolled a 49. So their skill is effectively 15 actually, because they have a -10 penalty for attacking us. Although they do have the +10 for the attacker penalty, so they basically just have a 25. Basically, they have no attacker bonus due to our Mantle of Darkness. So their attack will not succeed, and we will get a defensive move. So let's see what defensive move we're gonna have. Roll a d10 for that. That is a 7, and we will get advantage on our next attack. Get that Flesh Eater card back out here, and they have 4 of 4, no armor. All right, so our next attack is going to have advantage. So this attack right here, we're going to have advantage. Let's roll for an attack. And we got an 88. And if there's no way to play that with advantage. That is just a fumble no matter what. So now, did they fail in their defense? Yes, they did fail in their defense. But yeah, we got a fumble. So that might in fact be upgraded to a standard attack for them. No, not that time. Okay, so we're just going to roll for a fumble, and it's going to be D10. We've got a 1, so we drop our weapon, and we got to spend our next turn recovering it. Okay, so our weapon has been dropped, and we are going to have to recover it in the next turn. So Flesh Eater will attack, and they are going to do the slam. And it's a good thing that we don't defend with our weapon, because right now we're not holding it, so we wouldn't be able to defend with it, but we're going to defend with our acrobatics. 59. And they got a 19, so they will succeed in their attack, and we are going to fail in our attack. But I'm going to spend 2... I'm going to spend 2 exhaustion to use our nimble feet. Now our exhaustion was supposed to be back to 0. Forgot to erase that after the camping. It was back to 0. But now we're back up to 2 because we're using nimble feet. So with nimble feet, we do get to roll on the defensive moves table. So we'll do that now. And that's a 6. And our next attack is going to deal plus D10 damage. So that's a pretty good one. Okay, but their attack was successful, so we do need to roll D10 for their slam. And that's a 9. Ouch, that's going to be 3 points of damage. Another pretty solid hit. That one we fought last time also rolled a 9 on that, so that's a good attack, the slam. Okay, the slam, does it knock us down or anything? No. All right, so we got to spend our turn picking up our weapon. So now we have our weapon back in hand, and the Flesh Eater is going to attack, and this is going to be the grasp attack. So we need to make an opposed athletics check here. So if I can get the dice out, we will do that. Okay. And 68 versus 63. So both of us have failed, but the higher athletics is going to be the Flesh Eater. So the Flesh Eater will succeed in the attack. And we have been grappled, and we take D8 damage at the start of our turn. Okay. Let's see if we have the grappled condition here. No, I guess we don't. So does grapple do anything other than the 8 damage per turn, or the D8, rolling D8 per turn? Well, I didn't see anything about grappled. I guess grappled is not a condition, but it does entitle into dealing D8 bludgeoning damage to us at the start of every turn. So that does give them some good point with that. Okay, so now we're gonna roll D8 for the damage because we're gonna start our turn, and that's a 4. So that'll be 1 damage there. So we'll go on down to 12. And now we're going to go for our combat here. And we rolled a 9 and they rolled an 88. So they have fumbled. And we have succeeded. Let's roll on the fumble table. So we're looking at the creature fumbles. We're going to roll a d10. And that again is a 10. So that's a really good one because they take the 2d6 bludgeoning damage. Oh, very nice roll there. That's going to be 4 damage, and that will knock them out of the fight. So they are eliminated, and we still had that plus D10 damage from our defensive move as well that we could have done. So yeah, that flesh eater is gone. Made pretty short work of them. Still took a little bit of damage, but we can roll for D4 health recovery here. And we will recover 4. Not bad. So we're back up to 16 toughness. And we're also going to get 50 experience, putting us at 160. So we'll roll D6 for the spoils. And we got a 6. That's going to be the precious spoil. So we'll draw from the precious loot. And we have picked up another magic item. All right. So with 2 magic items to identify, I think we have a good chance to get something that might be quite useful for us. All right, so we have our other magic item written down. And we have dealt with that ambush, but that was from a Growing Darkness event, so we also still need to check for an encounter in this room. But let's look at the special text, because this room does have special text. So this is the altar room. There's old melted candles fused into a mass of solid wax upon the altar, dedicated to some mysterious goddess that you do not recognize. She holds a bowl in her hands, and within it you find the brittle remains of paper prayers left there by whoever worshipped the deity. There is no event in this room, but you can find D4 candles. Okay? So we won't have to worry about an event, but we can roll for D4 candles. 1, so we're going to get 1 candle. Okay, so I've written down our candle. And looking at the map now, probably make our way into room 5. So we'll step down this stairwell here, and we're on into what we'll call room B, which is another sort of unnumbered room. And we'll check the Growing Darkness. It's going to stay at D8. And now we'll check for an encounter. 16, that's going to be an encounter. We'll see what monster. And that is a 2. So I think that is going to be... I think that's something that we haven't fought yet. Yeah, that's going to be the Blightfang Rats. So we have not fought those guys yet. So we get the Blightfang Rats card here. And how many of these do we have? 3. Ooh, we got 3 rats to fight. Okay, so let's write down everything for the rats. Now they have 3 health. And they do not have any armor. So we've got rat 1, rat 2, and rat 3. Now we're going to check for initiative. They have an awareness of 60, which is pretty high. So they've got really good awareness. And it's going to be a little bit harder to win this roll here. 30 versus 23. So I think that we did win this time. Yeah, we did. We did beat them. So a pretty fortunate check there. And because we were going to have first strike, we will get to have a +1 from piercing. So let's roll for combat. We'll attack rat 1 here. And that is a 59, and they rolled a 27, which is under their skill, so they will successfully defend. And the rats are going, this rat A, or rat 1 is going to get a defensive move. So let's roll for the defensive move for the rats. And he got a 9. The rat would be able to recover 2 toughness, but the rat isn't hurt yet. So that was a pretty lucky one to get, since that's not going to help them. All right, let's move on to rat number 1. 3. They're going to do he's going to do the scratch. The Blightfang rat scratches you, dealing D4 +1 slashing damage. So we'll make a combat check. The rat's combat skill is going to be 30. 73 and 64. So both of us have failed. Our combat skill is, well, our defense skill is higher at 40 with acrobatics. So we will come out on top of that one. And we'll go to the second rat. That's a 6. That's the rally. The rat screeches loudly, riling up the rats in the room, and increases all damage dealt by 1. So all the rats have +1 damage now. Okay. So that's something we don't want to have rally happen very often, that's for sure. Okay, so they'll take care of rat 1 and 2. Now rat 3 is going to go. And rat 3 is going to also do the... Okay, rat 3 is going to do the biting attack. And it's just going to be D6 piercing damage, so let's roll for our combat check. The rat has got 87, so he has missed. And we got a 50, so we missed as well. Our defense is higher than theirs, so we will win that. And maybe we'll go ahead and use 2 exhaustion to do a defensive move. Yeah, we'll use 2 exhaustion to do a defensive move, because normally we wouldn't get one there. So we're going to go up to 4. And we'll roll for a defensive move. Got an 8. We reduce our opponent's next defense by -20. So we'll put that on rat 1, -20 defense. Try to remember that. Okay, so all the rats got their turn, and we're going to go for our turn. Attacking the rat 1, who's got -20 defense now, so he basically will have a defense of 10. And 59, so the rat is over. Or sorry, that's 95. And we got an 89, so we are over as well. Our attack skill will be higher, so we will still win that attack because our attack skill is higher. So we're going to roll damage and hit location. And 13, we're just looking for the head, so we're looking for 19 or 20. And I don't even know if the head is actually a weak spot for them. Yes, the head is a weak spot, but they are quadrupeds, so it's going to be a different place. Okay, still just going to be a 19 or 20 for the head on a quadruped. But if you were to fight a insectoid or a winged biped, the head is 16 to 20, so you have a little bit more chance to hit. And with 4, that's going to be 1 point of damage. So the rat will go down to 2. And I think we're going to use something from the second zine, I believe, where we're going to make a violent swing. We can gain 5 exhaustion and gain an extra standard attack. So we will gain 5 exhaustion, putting us up to 9. So we're really trying to leverage our exhaustion here. And now we're going to get another standard attack, standard action, which of course we're going to attack. So we'll attack rat number 1 again. 50 versus 93. So we both failed, but our attack is higher. So our attack is higher, so we will succeed on our attack there. And we're going to roll for damage and hit location again. And we just got a 1, so it's not going to be any damage. That's too bad. We really we took 5 exhaustion to get that, and we didn't get anything. All right, rat 1 is going to go. Rat 1 will do the screech attack. Or not screech, that's a scratch. A little different. And 94 versus 63. So their attack skill would effectively be 30 because of our Mantle of Darkness, where we're basically negating their attacker bonus. So in this case, our acrobatics of 40 would be a defense for us, but we won't get a defensive move. And I just noticed that the rats have the pack skill, which gets them +5 for each other creature in the room. So they're basically getting a +10 to their attack. So actually, even with our Mantle of Darkness, they would all be getting a +10 on their attack, because each rat, there's 2 other rats for each single rat. But anyway, that time the rat 1 failed. Rat 2 is going to attack. Rat 2 will do the bite attack. And we'll make an opposed check here. 25 versus 94, so we succeeded in our defense that time. And we will get a defensive move. So we're gonna roll D10 for our defensive move. And we got a 2. You can reduce their armor by 1. They don't have any armor, so that won't really matter. All right, now we're on to Rat 3. Rat 3 has rolled the bite attack. So we'll make our opposed combat check. 25 versus 99, so they have fumbled and we have succeeded. But we get a defensive move and they fumble, so that could be pretty bad for them. 5. They are going to lose D8 ether. That's not really going to matter for them, but we get a defensive move here. 5. They're going to suffer D4 damage. So this is Rat 3 is going to suffer D4 damage. Hopefully we get a 4. 4. All right. So Rat 3 is down. Bye bye, Rat 3. Oh, but that's not direct damage, is it? I was thinking that was direct damage. Okay, so that's only just going to be 1 damage. So Rat 3 is down to 2. All right, now Rat 1, we're going to attack Rat 1. $42 versus 29. I think we're going to win that, even though they did succeed. Yeah, we will win that with our 61 bladed weapons. Let's roll damage and location. 6 and 7. Location is not going to matter, but we are going to get 2 damage on Rat 1. So Rat 1 is now gonzo. Bye bye, Rat 1. Oh, well, we still have Rat 2 on the back, so can't throw that card away yet. Okay, now Rat 2. Let's see. Rat 2 is going to attack us. That's a 5. They're going to go for the scratch. Luckily, he didn't get rally, because rally is bad. And they rolled a 1 and we rolled a 38. So that's going to be a successful defense for us. We'll get to roll on the defensive moves table. And that is a 10. I think that's the one where they take the 2d6 damage and fall down, isn't it? Oh, no. Okay, so our next attack doesn't suffer the usual minus 30 modifier when doing a called shot. Okay. So we could do a called shot for the head and we wouldn't get any kind of a negative modifier. So that's probably worth doing. So that would be on Rat 2. So maybe we'll put a little circle there saying that we could do that. Rat 3 is going to attack. Rat 3 is going for the bite. $87 versus 26. So yeah, Rat 3 is going to be successful there with the attack. And the bite is just D6 piercing. So that's going to be 2 because they had the rally. They had the rally there, so it's going to be 2 damage, putting us at 14. And that takes care of Rat 3's turn. And we're back to Rat 2. And okay, so Rat 2, we're going to target the head and roll for combat. 53 versus 21, and we have succeeded on this one. All right, so we're going to hit them in the head. That's 53 versus 29, actually. So we'll hit them in the head. It's going to be 2d6. 6 and a 4, that's very good. That's going to be 2 and 3 damage. So Rat 2 is bye-bye. So we got Rat 1 and 2 eliminated. We're down to Rat 3. So that defensive move helped us out pretty good there. All right, Rat 3 will attack. Rat 3 doing the scratch. A lot of scratching and biting from these rats. A lot of 8s here. What do we get? 89 and 84. So we both failed, but their combat skill right now would be 30. There's no more pack bonus, and they don't get the attacker bonus because it's canceled out by our Mantle of Darkness. And our acrobatics is 40, so we will successfully defend. Very nice. And yeah, we get those back out and go for our attack. 49 and 24. So we will be successful there. Roll for damage and hesitation. And we just got a 1. Okay, Rat goes again. 6. Oh, we did the rally. So they now get +2 damage. And I might have calculated that other +1 wrong because that should just be a +1 modifier and not a +1 direct damage. So I may have calculated that wrong last time, but that's okay. We'll just take the extra damage if that's how it was. Okay, now it's going to be our turn. $58 versus 86. So both of us failed. Our attack is going to be higher than their defense, so we will still succeed. And that's when I say that, I mean the base with any kind of attack modifiers. And just another 1. Oh, great. Yeah, we really got to up our damage. Really need some kind of a damage modifier. Would be so helpful right now. All right, let's let the rat attack. Rat's going to do the biting. I think it's the biting, right? Rat's biting. Yeah, rat's biting. 93 versus 20. Oh, okay, we failed. Rat succeeds. Going to do D6. 5, pretty good. That's going to be 2 points of damage. So we're down to 12. And this rat is being really annoying. Okay, let's attack. 52 versus 2. And we are successful. Please do not roll 1 again, please. 3. And no, we didn't hit the head, though. Okay, so 3 is going to be 1 damage. They're down to 1. Starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel here. Okay, what are you going to do, rat? You are going to scratch. Rat scratch fever. 21 and 6. So we succeeded on our defense. We'll get a defensive move. 10. I think that's a good one. Oh yeah, that's the one where you can do the cold shot without the penalties. So all right, we will do a cold shot on the head. And we're going to roll for combat. 36 versus 81. Nice. All right, this should put them away. 2d6 critical hit. Oh no, well, it still ended them anyway, even though it's only 1 damage. So rat 3, you are gone. Very nice. And rat 3, or sorry, the 3 rats have been defeated. And we can roll D4 health recovery. We got a 1. We'll be up to 13. And we also get 50 experience. So we're going to be up to 210. And this is going to be a roll on the resources table, which I may not have put those cards out, actually. I don't think I have them out here. Okay, 204 is the resources table. I'm going to roll D10. Got a 5. We're going to find 1 cooking supply. Okay, we got our cooking supply on there. We have a total of 1 cooking supplies now. And we finished out room B here. And when we come back next time, we will move into room 5. But before we do that, let's scavenge. 31, nothing. All right, so that's going to end it for today for episode 3. So when we come back next time, we'll move into room 5 and we'll see what awaits us in room 5. Thank you all very much for joining me, and we'll see you next time.